The city of Atlanta is the scene for the Raptors. He can shred any defense.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to the NBA here on 2K. And a moment now to look at the year-to-year scoring output and how it has been trending for Gasol.
And looking at his offensive numbers from the past few years, it seems like teams around the league have kind of figured him out. He's having to work a lot harder for his points, and they haven't been coming nearly as easily as they used to.
Let's check out Toronto's starting lineup. Siakam and Ibaka, the duo down low. Lowry out there with Che. And it's Powell in at the 3, the small forward. And for Atlanta, Young and Herter make up the back. Hunter at the 3 with Collins at the 4. And it's Len in at the center, locking down the middle. Halfway through the season here, Brent, how do coaching staffs shake things up and keep things fresh over the long 82-game season?
I think coaches who are really smart, Kevin, can be a bit programmable where they're looking ahead at the schedule and saying there are blocks of games here in which we might try to change some of our defensive scheme, maybe over this 10-game stretch or 5-game stretch. Or
to keep things fresh or
yeah, because you can only do it on the mental side. As much as we talk about guys getting rested and sitting out games for maintenance issues and load management and those kind of things, the tweaks that you can make on the floor in terms of a couple of new sets on offense or defensively, let's make this challenge for the next few months of what coaching staffs are capable of doing with that team as they go on.
Young taking his time here. Pass to Hunter. Over Ibaka. Hunter no good. And here's Toronto. They're coming off that win against Minnesota.
Yeah, and with most of the arena against them, they just banded together and trusted one another to make the right play.
Yeah, and in that game, it turned into a massive scoring night. It wasn't so much about the game plan as it was establishing early confidence to get that win.
Chalk up 2 there.
The top scorers in this league, like Trae Young, could be. They get buckets when it's not easy to get buckets.
And Shea throws it down hard.
And one of the things you love about this team, just seeing the bench go wild, quite common when he's on the floor.
I think, Greg, easy to see that Che is a beloved member of this team, and the way his teammates cheer for him, the reactions from the bench are priceless. Hunter, no good.
Pretty lax defense there. He's going to see fewer and fewer chances if he can't bury those kind of jumpers.
Now here's Powell. He's covered closely. Shea dropped. Look at that.
If I was scoring that, Kevin, I'm giving that a strong 9 from Che.
Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far.
And when Kyle Korver played for Atlanta, he set a league record with at least 1 three-pointer in 127 consecutive games.
And to think that you just wouldn't have one of those nights where nothing was going in, 127 is pretty impressive. Record was broken eventually by Steph Curry in 2016. But for Atlanta, that 127 is still a team record. And you wonder if one Trae Young might have his eyes set on it.
And he jams right over Jabari Parker.
The easiest way to score. Che getting to the rim for the dunk.
The Hawks trail by 6. And in this first quarter, about 3 minutes played. Parker outside. Shot clock at 6. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen. And here at the midway point of the season, the perfect time to check out the rookie rankings. Who will be the NBA Rookie of the Year? Some great young players. You look at Che. Well, he's shown he's a force as we move along in the meat of the season, sitting pretty at that #1 spot now, and it's his race to lose.
This is just a special player. No question he should be favored for the Rookie of the Year award at this point.
Totally agree. It's taken him only about half the season to show he is going to be a force and a face in the NBA for a long time.
Here's what Atlanta's going with right now. Jones checked in for Collins. Parsons comes in for Hunter. And Turner's subbed in for Kevin Huerter. And so it's Turner with it. He brings it up for Atlanta. Trailing here by 8. The pass to Parsons. Back to Young. Here's the 3. They get it back. And the dunk by Parker.
Your small forward stays active like Jabari Parker did that time down low. You'll get second chance opportunities.
Shea left side. And it's blocked. Turner inside. Covered by Van Vliet. Jones against Gasol. And oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. Shea passes to Hollis Jefferson. No good that time. Parsons with some nice D. The Hawks trail by 6. Young left side. Shoots over Van Vliet. Misses off the right iron. Last outing for the Hawks, it was a loss to Detroit. Shea drive. Whoa!
Wow. Good look out. Jay's showing a little streak right now to his game. Thinking dunk, getting dunked.
And stolen by Che. Anunoby kicks to Che. And the dunk by Che.
When you find yourself up double digits in the first quarter, you know you're doing something right.
Well, dominant so far. That's the responsibility of the starters. Now let's see if everybody else who plays in this game makes the same kind of high-level contributions.
And so it's Che making things happen for Toronto. What an amazing... Thanks again for joining us, and welcome back to our special Martin Luther King Day presentation of the NBA. And from what we've seen so far for the Raptors, guys, your thoughts?
Well, in that first quarter, they were intent on just pounding the ball down low.
And you don't see that all that often, getting down there and doing that much damage in a quarter. You got to respect the game plan.
So the Raptors 5 right now. Hollis Jefferson is out there with Johnson. Then it's Che, and it's Marc Gasol, and it's Van Vliet in at the point.
Well, as good as he is offensively, the challenge for Trae Young as the years go on here is to stand up defensively and shut down whoever he's guarding. Small and slender. If he can become just a little bit above average on that floor, that's a huge win for the entire team.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Shea in the last game against the Timberwolves was a driven player. He contributed 31 points, and along with what he did on offense, he had a big defensive night as well. When you look at the stat sheet, he was mind-blowing. It's hard to imagine he can follow it up tonight with that same level of production. Kevin, we'll see.
David, we appreciate the update. Greg, we'll see if he can keep rolling here tonight.
Yeah, and that's the rub. When he's in rhythm, he can carry your team across the line.
And you want to see him make sure that the teammates are also involved in what they're doing, especially if he draws that much attention.
Pass to Huerter. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Lobbed up there for Collins. Hammers the alley-oop through.
That connection with Collins, that's an impressive play and very, very high percentage.
And he said he's eager to change the narrative about his defensive shortcomings. But, Brent, what does Trae Young need to do to improve there?
Well, I think he has to look at the approach that Steph Curry had. You remember with the Warriors, a lot of questions about Steph not being able to guard his position and shifting off with Clay. But Trae's got to accept that challenge as much as he's trying to lead this team offensively. If he can show defensively he can be consistent, that's going to go a long way for these young Hawks.
Now Van Vliet. 3 seconds left. And so it's the Toronto Raptors in the... Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So. And thanks for joining us again, folks. 2K Sports broadcasting here on MLK Day, bringing you the NBA. Well, you look at Shea in this game, he has been everywhere.
Really impressed with the shot selection through the first half, just taking what he can get from the defense.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to the first half and wondering, did he take a low percentage shot? Everything efficient.
Hunter at the 3 with Collins at the 4. Turner is out there with Trae Young. And it's Len in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. So that's the lineup for Atlanta. You know, officials try to be as objective as possible, Brent. It does sometimes feel like we get superstar calls, correct?
I think there's absolutely superstar calls, Kevin. And, you know, the purist in me wants the referees to keep it fair. But understanding that the game is entertainment and understanding what it takes to be that level of player, every now and then seeing a guy like James Harden getting a few more free throws or watching Giannis find his way to the line a few more times, I shrug my shoulders and I say, yeah, I actually kind of get it.
Yeah, good example. Yep, that one goes in there. Siakam's got the lead up to 12 now for Toronto. And so Young will bring it up for the Hawks. Atlanta again missing.
Well, his poor shooting is a big reason that they're staring at this deficit right now. He needs to get on track if they're going to find a way to win.
And Shea throws it down hard.
And as a player, you got to relish and soak up and sponge nights like this. Shea clicking. Tonight.
Third quarter of play with just over a minute and a half gone by. Lowry against Young. Collins trying to break free. Paxson coming off the assist from Young. And it's 6 points for John Collins.
Well, there it is. 0 of 3 to start the half, and finally something finds its way through the net.
Shea outside. Len with the block.
While putting the wingspan to great use, Len throws that one away.
Passes to Hunter. And the rejection by Ibaka. No one near Turner as he lets it go. Off target from outside. Shea inside. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. That's on DeAndre Hunter.
Back when I first saw him in Summer League, one of the things that I liked about Shea is that he invites the contact, does not shy away from those kind of plays.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hawks. Damian Jones is checked in for Len. Parsons comes in for Hunter. And Jabari Parker subbed in for Turner. Jones trying to get open. Here's Collins. He dishes it to Jones. Young outside. Three-pointer. And out of bounds as Toronto gains possession. Here's a look at what's coming up for Toronto. On Wednesday, they'll be matching up with Al Horford and the Philadelphia 76ers. Then on Friday, they'll tip off a road trip in New York where they'll take on the Knicks.
And just looking ahead to what's on tap, there are a lot of winnable games for them, but you can't go into the stretch with that mentality. You've got to focus on what's in front of you and bring it every night.
Young finds Jones. Cross contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
And that solid play in the paint continues here, guys.
Crabs checked in for the Hawks. And then for Toronto, Rondé Hollis-Jefferson comes in for Pascal Siakam. And it's Johnson in for OG Anunoby. Pass to Van Vliet. There's a minute 40 left to play in the third. Back to Shea. Clock at 6. On the money from 12 feet away. Shea's got 26.
And how about that? A mid-range Jay. Shea's got a little old school to his game.
Now, here is Young, covered by Van Vliet. Grab up top. He gives a bit of a scoring lift to the team, averaging 8 points a game. Parsons for 3, and it's Van Vliet with the rebound. Raptors leading by 15. Shea drives in. Count that one. Shea's got 10 points in just the second half.
Zero hesitation to take that on the inside. Shea aggressive on that.
Parsons passes to Young. Takes the 3. And once again off the mark by Atlanta.
A bit shocking that he has not registered one made field goal in the quarter, guys.
That one good for 2. 30 points for Shea.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Now, here is Young, covered by Van Vliet. Looking to get back on track here, and the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him. Game moves along. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth. So for Toronto right now, Siakam and Ibaka, the duo down low. Ari out there with Jay, and it's Powell in at the 3. Shea. Oh!
He is a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
That could be a contender for the dunk of the year, I think. The Hawks trail by 21. Lowry brings the double. The pass to Len. Back to Herter. If you were commissioner, Brent, of the NBA, would you add or alter any rules right now?
First of all, I think you get to fly on a really nice plane wherever you're going, and you get to go to any game you want to.
Yes.
So sign me up
with
for that job.
With courtside seats, by the way, too.
Add or alter any NBA rules. I think the game is in a pretty good place right now, Kevin. And there's not much that I think is out there for us to change.
It seems like All-Star Weekend and the length of the season seems to be two pretty prominent things that continually come.
Yeah, and as far as the question, I guess my head was going to things that are on the floor.
I was thinking that too, but I couldn't think of anything that really...
On the floor, it's tough to figure out something that could be adjusted. And I know Adam Silver and David Stern before him, all of their concern mostly is about
the game,
the optics of the game.
Yes.
And right now, it's in a pretty good spot.
It's very pleasing to watch, there's no doubt. Trae Young, he's checked in for the Hawks. And then for Toronto, Anunoby, he's checked in for Ibaka. Murray comes in for Norman Powell. And Cameron Payne subbed in for Kyle Lowry. And the Hawks with a completely new group on the floor. Free throw, good. Shea.
Well, the great thing about the NBA is that you can prove yourself on a nightly basis. Shea's stock fell staying 4 years in college. A lot of analytics guys don't like the fact that as you get older, you maybe don't have the chance to reach a higher ceiling, but he's performed since he's entered the league.
And they double up Jay. Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Murray against Carter. Just 5 on the clock. And Shea with the basket on the assist by Murray. Shea's got 39.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Raptors.
You know, a team can have a great shooting night without getting a lot of assists, but tonight they had both.
Yeah, and listen, you only get the assist if the guy you give it to makes the shot. So a lot of assists will up your field goal percentage, but this is a great team effort by everyone.
And so now on the year, they'll have 35 wins to their credit.
And as we get set to put this one to bed, a one-sided season series thus far, they've won 2 straight.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance. Payne with it. And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. A resounding victory for them. And Greg and Anthony.
Kevin, thank you. Another win for you, Che. Looks like this team is becoming a real contender. Is it too early to start planning for the playoffs?
It's number 2 early.
David, thank you as always.